Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maitrisha. I hope you all are doing amazing. Today I'm going to share with you how I was able to score 8.5 in IELTS reading general test. Note, IELTS reading is different for general and for academic test, and also I appeared for a paper based exam. But if you are appearing for a computer based exam, still whatever facts I'm going to share with you, you still can use it in the computer based. It's just that instead of writing on a paper, you will be selecting the answers on the computer. The questions and format will be same, it's just how you will give the answers. But also, if you're looking for the differences between computer based and paper based, then please wait for a week, because next week I'm going to post the differences between IELTS general test for paper based exam and for computer based exam. So before I start sharing with you the tips that I used for my exam, please make sure that you subscribe to my channel, hit the bell icon, and do please make sure that if you like my videos, then you share it with your friends and also like and comment on my videos. It really means a lot to me. It encourages me to create more content for you guys. So please make sure that you like, comment and subscribe to my channel. Now talking about the format of IELTS reading test. IELTS reading test is for 60 minutes wherein you are supposed to answer 40 questions. Out of which, if you want to score band 7 in IELTS reading, then you have to make sure that you give answers of 34 questions right. And also, if you don't know any answer, don't leave it blank. Make sure that you answer something so that if your guess works right, then you will get a point for it. Now, in IELTS reading test, there are generally 5 paragraphs, like they are of shorter length. And also the first 2 sections are very easy, so you can score good marks in it, and also you have to make sure that you divide your time accordingly. So first section is very easy, in which you can complete it in around 15 minutes. Second section is little bit hard, wherein you can take around 20 minutes, and the third section is the hardest. It is going to take more time, so you can put down 25 minutes in the third section. Also, in IELTS reading test, you have to make sure that you copy your answers from the question paper to the answer sheet parallelly. Like, don't do it at the end, because you might not get much time at the end, unlike IELTS listening, where you get time to copy all your answers from the question paper to the answer sheet. If you want to know more about how to appear for IELTS listening, then I'm going to link it here. Make sure that you watch that video. So what I did during my IELTS reading test was, like, after I completed one section, I copied my answers at the same time in the answer sheet. I did not do it after every question. Now, when you're appearing for IELTS reading test, make sure that you underline the keywords in the question paper. Also, here's one important tip that I followed. In questions where the answers were supposed to be in the true or false form, yes, no, or fill in the blanks, what I used to do is I used to read the question first. Like, I used to read the first 2 questions, go to the passage, and then pick out the answers from the passage, because in these 3 question paper formats, mostly the answers were in order. So instead of wasting your time 2 times by reading the passage, what you can do is you can read the question first, go to the passage and find the answers, underline the keywords. That way you will not waste more time. But answers are not in order when there are questions of match the paragraphs or match the headings. In those cases, there are chances that answers are not in order. But unlike the other 3 sets, there are chances that mostly the answers will be in order. And also, if you are not a fast reader, then make sure that you underline the keywords so that you don't waste your time again and again in reading the passage. I'm quite a fast reader, so I could easily skim through the words. And also, in IELTS reading, you are not supposed to read every single word. Like, you have to make sure that you practice reading faster, otherwise you will waste a lot of time, and then at the end you won't have time to complete the last section. So make sure that you just skim through the words. When I say skim through the words, like if there is a sentence, then you have to just quickly pick out the main keywords and not read words which say the, I, we, he, she. Try avoiding those words and just pick the main keywords, underline it fast and read fast. That's one technique that I used for my IELTS reading, and I did not waste much time. While I was preparing for my IELTS reading test, I was not good in true, false, not given and yes, no, not given test. So what I did is, when I started practicing, I first picked out question papers of true, false, not given test only. I gave around 7 to 8 tests. When I knew I was good at it, then I moved to yes, no, not given test. For me, the fill in the blanks part was the easiest. I could read fast, I could pick out the answers very fast. But unlike fill in the blanks, true, false, not given, and yes, no, not given were hard. Also, if you want to know where can you find such question papers, then I'm going to link the YouTube channels that I had used while I was appearing for my test. You can check out their channels, and there are a lot of question papers available on those channels, so you can easily practice tons of tests. Now here's the difference between true, false, not given and yes, no, not given test. In true, false, not given, it is about the facts that are already present in the passage. You don't have to think, you don't have to worry about anything, you don't have to go and try understanding the meaning. In true, false, you just have to make sure that you underline the key words in the passage, especially the names, the dates, if there is some building names, if there is some important information about some material being used, then you make sure that you underline those keywords, and you just have to then pick out the facts and give the answer. Whereas in yes, no, not given, you have to think a little bit, but you have to think from the writer's perspective. So if the writer is trying to convey something, then you have to make sure that you understand his or her point of view, and you do not start manipulating things as what you think is or could be right. So make sure that you understand this one major difference between true, false, not given and yes, no, not given. Also, in yes, no, not given, make sure that you try understanding the meaning, like try to match the meaning, because what happens is at times in the passage there are difficult words, there are complex words used. So it is possible that you might not be aware of the meaning of those words, but you have to try to think what could be the most nearest word to this. Like you have to try to understand the meaning and try to relate the meaning with the writer's perspective. True, false, not given and yes, no, not given is again a scoring thing in the IELTS reading test, but only if you practice a lot. I have personally given many tests. I think I gave around 15 to 20 tests of IELTS reading as well, because initially I was facing a lot of difficulty. So make sure that you try getting good marks in IELTS reading, because it is going to help you at the end to total it up to your IELTS goal, IELTS whatever score you want to achieve. The third set of question, which is like fill in the blanks, it is really very easy. All you have to do is underline the keywords. I also underlined the keywords in the question paper, in the fill in the blanks question, and also in the passage. That way it was very easy to find the word and find the sentence exactly into the passage. Now in the fill in the blanks questions, you are not supposed to change the word, but there are chances that in the passage the sentence might be tweaked a little bit. It might be that they can change the tense, like the present tense could have been made to past tense. So you'll have to try understanding what the fill in the blanks question is trying to say, and then you find a similar sentence in the passage. It is again a very scoring section. Answers are directly present in the question paper. You just have to make sure that you underline the keywords, you try to understand the meaning, and you try to understand the tense of the sentence being said in the fill in the blanks and being written in the passage. It is a scoring part. It is most likely the last section, I think, because in whatever test I gave, the IELTS fill in the blanks section in the reading test was the last section, which people do find hard, because there are chances that the paragraph might be too long, so you might take a lot more time in reading the paragraph. So what I would suggest you to do is like read the fill in the blanks, go to the paragraph and find the answer, because answers are mostly in order. So these were my basic tips which I used for my IELTS reading test, and I was able to score 8.5 in reading. But given that, I also made sure that I practice a tons of tests, and I also practiced it by using a timer so that I don't run out of time, and I know how do I have to make sure that I calculate my time in the right way and allocate it to all the sections individually in the time frame. So I hope that today's video was useful to you. Now if you're facing difficulty in any particular section, may it be true or false, or yes, no, not given, or match the paragraph, find the headline, or maybe fill in the blanks, then please let me know in the comment section. I can bring out some question papers, and I can also put down those videos like how do I answer, what should you look at into it. So let me know if you're facing difficulty in any particular section of IELTS reading test, but whatever tips I suggested, I've used in my reading test and I was able to score good. But again, you have to make sure that you practice a tons of tests, and there are question papers already available on YouTube. All you have to do is just find those and start practicing. I hope today's video was useful to you. I hope that you score good marks in IELTS reading test. Wishing you all the best, and again let me know if you want me to practice any particular module of IELTS reading test, may it be yes, no, true, false, or fill in the blanks. Just let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching this video, and please make sure that you like, comment and share my videos, and also please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so that you don't miss any IELTS videos. Next week also I'm going to post lots of IELTS content, so please make sure that you hit the bell icon. Thank you so much. Take care. Stay safe.